This iPhone 12 mini is a complete throw off. Yep, this phone has completely thrown me off in a good way and very unexpectedly, to the point where I think this just might be one of my favorite iPhones made so far. But I also feel this is the next true upgrade since the iPhone 5S and the original iPhone SE. And I'm going to try and do my best to, pretty much explain it in this, what is finally my experience review of the iPhone 12 mini. Let's go. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. Now, firstly, I wanted to say a big thank you to Vodafone UK for supplying me the iPhone 12 mini for review. There will be links in the description below for all the latest deals on the iPhone 12 mini on Vodafone UK. Let's start from the top and core. When it comes to the design and the build, this iPhone 12 mini makes me happy. In reference to scale, it actually makes the iPhone SE 2020 model actually look massive, and it's closer to the size and scale of the original iPhone 5S, which initially it just really surprised me and kind of threw me off. But it did this in a good way. The construction of the device is solid, the use of the brushed aluminium frame, which is so much more preferred and nicer to grip versus the glossy stainless steel of the Pro models, to the point where, due to the compact nature and the slightly more grippable size of the 12 mini, I would say that I've not actually necessarily felt the need to put a case on it. Secondly, I'm using a Product Red model with the glossy finish at the back, which I was worried by how much fingerprints it would attract. Now look, don't get me wrong, I would rather have a matte finish, but this glossy back handles prints well enough where I didn't really notice it as much unless it was at a certain angle. The power button, the volume keys, the silent switch land so perfectly with probably the best overall button placement I've used on any phone in a very long time. Now, I have to say, it's still a shame that you are still using a lightning port on here. And obviously the dual cameras are nice, simple and clean. You still get dual speakers. And also, to add to that, the weight distribution and the weight overall is just chef's kiss. Man, simple as. I love the overall design and the build of this iPhone 12 mini. Now for display, thank you Apple for finally ditching LCD and moving over to OLED. We're gonna state some stuff. Obviously there's no high refresh rate in any capacity, whether you're talking about 75 Hertz or even 90 Hertz. And look, I'll be honest with you, at this price, I still think it would be nice, but at this size though, I would say that the animations are so good and well fluid enough on iOS that I can low-key forgive it this time round. But ultimately, when you're looking at the 2340 by 1080p resolution at this 5.4 inch display, it does make the screen look tack sharp for some reason when you're looking at it. The size of the screen resolution with the PPI, yeah, really hits well. The display itself is well balanced with good and accurate colors, and thanks to the Face ID sensors, the auto brightness management is some of the best you're gonna see on any phone. The only thing I'm really gonna say is, my biggest annoyance, which come on, it's not gonna come as any surprise to anyone, is the dreaded notch. And I get it, I do get it. Functionally, it needs to be there for Face ID, but man, it really does feel like it's taking up space for days, especially with how small the screen is already. So yes, although I'm not much of a mobile gamer, if you are, this might not necessarily be the phone to get depending on what games you're playing. And for me, for someone that watches a lot of videos, I can feel that low-key this feels like a drawback. Now, funny enough with the size, what's not a drawback is just how refreshing it is to have a truly one-handed modern screen smartphone device at this age. And I thought the Pixel 4a was a joy to use at 5.8 inches, but this 5.4 inch display with the construction makes so much sense to how iOS and iPhones navigate, that it makes the true essence of how good iOS feels in its simplicity shine right here on this iPhone 12 mini. Now let's look at the specs and the performance. And the 12 mini is the most powerful, at the moment, small compact device on the market right now. No cap, no lies, no reach. There's no surprise with the 5nm A14 chip with 5G support, and I think it's safe to say that Apple knows what they're doing when it comes to chipset design in the mobile space. So to have all this power in a phone this size almost feels like it's cheating and spoiling the end user. And although not much concern is right now with the fact that it has 4GB of RAM versus 6GB of RAM on what you find on the Pro models, and I know most people are going to be saying that with iOS optimizations it means that it will be fine, but you know what, I low low-key potentially worry about future updates and newer version of iOS. And obviously not wasting any more time on here, man. The performance, again, chef's kiss, is just... Now, battery and charging experience, you're looking at 2,227 milliamp hour battery with support for 20-watt wired charging, 12 watts of wireless charging if you're then using MagSafe to be able to get those speeds. I was initially very, very shook for how bad the battery experience would be on the iPhone 12 mini. And although I can definitely say it's not on the levels of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, this iPhone 12 mini actually does well enough even when you're using it day to day, so long as just take precaution, you're not pushing it extremely. And I know obviously saying not pushing it extremely, it kind of makes common sense, and it's common sense, but let's just say that this iPhone 12 mini surprisingly has been okay with how the battery life has been handled. Now, I'm not much of a wireless charging person, and the cost of MagSafe and the fact that it still doesn't come with the correct power brick or power brick at all did not sell me on it, so I didn't really touch it when it came to that. But you know what? Again, just remember, new slimmer boxes mean only the charging cable, no charging brick, so you definitely have to purchase the supported 20-watt charging brick to get the fast speeds that it's able to connect and charge out, which basically then means you can charge it from 0 to 100% in about an hour and a half. So again, not class leading. I'll have links in the description below for the chargers that you can get for it. Software, of course, is running iOS 14. And although there are new additions to the software with things like obviously now finally being able to add widgets to the home screen, and obviously the organized app library, deep down, this is still iOS through and through, which means the limited functions and the simple nature of iOS is what really shines through here. And I always say this, you're gonna love iOS regardless if you're a fan of the native apps and features such as FaceTime, iMessage, iCloud, as well as things like AirDrop. But honestly, the size of this phone is what makes iOS feel so good to use. And like I said in my first impressions video, it's what brings out the true essence and beauty of iOS. Swiping and navigating through the phone just feels, again, chef's kiss. The tight and fast animations, no slowdowns. The small size just makes it easier to reach all the corners to go back and forward. This, honestly, using this 12 mini reminds me that iOS suits and was always built to work on smaller devices, and this 12 mini is the king of showcasing this fully on a modern day iPhone. Now, when it comes to the camera experience, this is based on the evolution of the iPhone 11 camera system with the dual 12 megapixel rear camera with a wide and an ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel selfie housed in the notch with the Face ID sensors. Now, definitely, I would advise you to watch both my ultimate camera comparisons with the Pixel 4a and the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE for a full in-depth breakdown of the camera performance, which I'm going to have linked in the cards above and the description below. But yes, in short, if you want the most and the best consistent performance on video on a compact phone, then stop at nothing and just use the iPhone 12 mini. Like, for the sheer fact that you can record 4K 60 frames a second on all the sensors with 10-bit video and Dolby Vision HDR video up to 30 frames a second in 4K is class leading stuff. But you know what, when it comes to photos, it does well and the colors are accurate enough, but the output is not really to my style, and I still do prefer the results that you do get on the Pixel. Apart from that, man, it's solid and it way more than does the job. Now, quick glance look, because we're not going to spend too long on here because I really went in depth on this one with my iPhone 12 Pro Max review. Face ID. And look, the narrative for me hasn't changed. I've been saying this since my iPhone 10 review in 2017, especially now more in today's climate. Face ID is just not the right move to use as the main and the only biometric unlock. My only thing to Apple is this, that no one, honestly Apple, no one's gonna hold it against you if you go back on your word and bring back Touch ID either in display or on the power button like you did on the new iPad Air, or actually if you just do both. Now, wrapping this up, I love this phone. It makes no sense for someone like me that loves large devices like the Z Fold 2, the Note 20 Ultra, the OnePlus 8T, for me to even think that I was going to actually enjoy this 12 mini, but we're here, lo and behold. And I actually think probably this might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite iPhone of all time. How strange is that? Again, that is it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of the iPhone 12 mini? Have you picked up? Are you considering it? And how do you compare it to all the other iPhones this year for the 12 series? That's it for me, man. Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.